for the third time. Ugh. I wish I would stop getting so many interruptions. Hey everybody, Amy Coon here, Kid 1028, reporting in from Kids Network Studios. Having so many interruptions. Like, seriously, every time I turn around, interruption. I actually came this close to getting to Arcanine, and I was going to cut it off, and then wham! Alright. I was trying to get this done. Calm. Okay, let's do this. Alright, we were on Zubat, and I got all the way up to Growlithe. Alright, Zubat, that Pokemon. Poison, Flying. Weaknesses to Psychic, Ice, Electricity, and Rock. Zubat has two evolutions. One is Golbat, the Poison Flying type, and the Bear Pokemon. Same weaknesses as Zubat. And unless you're planning to use Crobat, and we're not covering Crobat quite yet, Zubat and Golbat aren't really worth your time. Our next Pokemon, Oddish, the Weed Pokemon, a Grass Poison type with the weaknesses to Fire, Ice, Flying, and Psychic moves. Oddish has an interesting evolution. First, it evolves into Gloom, the Weed Pokemon, a Grass Poison type with the weaknesses to Fire, Ice, Flying, Psychic. Now, depending on which stone you give Gloom, you get your final evolved form. You give it Gloom a Leaf Stone, it'll evolve into Vileplume, the Flower Pokemon, a Grass Poison type with the weaknesses to Fire, Ice, Flying, and Psychic. However, if you give Gloom a Sunstone, it evolves into something else completely. But we won't cover that just yet. Our next Pokemon is Paras, the Mushroom Pokemon, a Bug Grass type with the 4 times weaknesses to Fire and Flying, and it also has weaknesses to Ice, Poison, Bug, and Rock types. Paras has one evolution, Parasect, the Mushroom Pokemon, a Bug Grass type with the same weaknesses as Paras. And in all honesty, with these many weaknesses, you don't want to use Paras and Parasect competitively. There are so many better grass types, there are so many better bug types out there, that it's not even funny. Our next Pokemon is Venonat, the insect Pokemon, a bug poison type, with the weaknesses to Fire, Flying, and Psychic moves. Venonat has one evolution, Venomoth, the Poison Moth Pokemon, a bug poison type, same weaknesses as Venonat, and in all honesty, you could go with better Pokemon. Our next Pokemon, Diglett, the Mole Pokemon, a ground type with the weaknesses to Water, Grass, and Ice. And it has one evolution, Dugtrio, the Mole Pokemon, a ground type with the same weaknesses as Diglett. And I really like these two Pokemon because they really can come through in a pinch. Alright, our next Pokemon, Meowth, the Scratch Cat Pokemon. A normal type, one weakness, fighting, one evolution. Persian, this Classy Cat Pokemon, a normal type, and it only has one weakness, 2, fighting. And in all honesty, Meowth gave itself such a bad rap by being with Team Rocket and being so weak that, yeah, I wouldn't use a Meowth competitively even if you paid me. Persian I would, mainly because it can learn better moves than Meowth can. Sorry. Our next Pokemon is Psyduck, the duck Pokemon, a water type. Two weaknesses, electric and grass. 1 evolution, Golduck, the duck Pokemon, a water type, 2 weaknesses, electric and grass. Now if you need a water type in a pinch, Psyduck and Golduck are your go-to guys, but not recommended. I mean, they're good, but don't use them unless you have to. Our next Pokemon is Mankey, the pig monkey Pokemon in a fighting type. 3 weaknesses, flying, psychic, and fairy. 1 evolution, Primeape, the pig monkey Pokemon, a fighting type, same weaknesses as Mankey. And if you need a fighting type in a pinch, these Pokemon will do for you. Our next Pokemon, finally we're back to Growlithe, yay! Growlithe, the puppy Pokemon, a fire type with weaknesses to water and ground type moves. Growlithe evolves into 1 Pokemon. With the Fire Stone, it can evolve into Arcanine, the legendary Pokemon, a fire type with the weaknesses to water and ground type moves. They're also weak to rock type moves as well. And in all honesty, these guys are good. You raise them right, they're going to be really great additions to your team if you need a fire type Pokemon in a pinch. Our next Pokemon is Poliwag, the tadpole Pokemon, and a water type. 2 weaknesses, water and electric and grass. Sorry, I can't talk today. Poliwag evolves into Poliwhirl, the tadpole Pokemon, a water type with the weaknesses to electric and grass. Now, Poliwhirl has a branched evolution. One of the evolutions we're going to cover now. If you give Poliwhirl a water stone, it evolves into Poliwrath, the tadpole Pokemon, and a water fighting type, with the weaknesses to electric, grass, flying, psychic, and fairy type Pokemon. In all honesty, there are better water fighting type Pokemon out there, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, and I probably won't until later on. So Poliwrath is your best way to go if you need a water fighting type Pokemon. Just make sure you raise it right and have enough moves in order to cover your butt. Our next Pokemon is Abra, the Psy Pokemon, a psychic type with the weaknesses to bug, ghost, and dark types. Abra has 2 evolutions. Kadabra, the Psy Pokemon, a psychic type with the same weaknesses as Abra. And finally, Alakazam, the Psy Pokemon, a psychic type and got the same weaknesses. Now, if you need a psychic type, Abra, Kadabra, and Alakazam are really good. And I mean really good. I mean, I used to have an Alakazam and it wiped the floor with my competition. If you raise it right, it's a great Pokemon and a great addition to your team competitively. So I would definitely go with an Alakazam if I was in a pinch. Speaking of, our next Pokemon, Machop, or Manchap, Machop, excuse me, the Super Pokemon, a fighting type with the weaknesses to flying, psychic, and fairy. 2 evolutions, Manchoke, the superpower Pokemon, a fighting type, and Manchap, the superpower Pokemon, also a fighting type. And if you really need a fighting type, these guys are really good, as long as you train them right. It's all about training them right. Okay, we still got time. So we can cover Bellsprout, the flower Pokemon, a grass poison type. Weaknesses to fire, ice, flying, and psychic. It has 2 evolutions. 1 is Weeping Bell, the flycatcher Pokemon, a grass poison type. And the last evolution on the evolutionary chain is Victory Bell, the flycatcher Pokemon. a grass poison type with the same kind of weaknesses as Weepinbell and Bellsprout. Now, Victreebel is one of those grass poison type Pokemon that could be better, in all honesty. Victreebel could be better. Team Rocket gave it a really bad rap. I'm sorry. I just can't see myself competing with a Victreebel when a lot is on the line. I can't see myself doing it. I think there's a better Pokemon out there that can do the job better. Sorry, but that's just the way I feel. And now that all that mishap is done and over with, we finished the video! Yay! That's right, I'm ending it here before anything else happens. So next time, we're going to cover Tentacool to... we'll see. We'll wait and see. Till next time, guys, this is Amy Coon at Kid1028, signing off from Kids Network Studios, and I'll see you guys next time before anything else happens. Bye.